Hello students, welcome to our video of chapter Human Health and Diseases. This chapter you have in your class 12 biology subject. In previous videos we have studied few diseases, so we will move forward with next diseases. So we are continuing with protozoal disease. In our previous video we had studied protozoal disease malaria. Now here second protozoal disease we are going to study is amoebiasis. Many a times amoebiasis is also called as amoebic dysentery. Causative organism is protozoa Entamoeba histolytica and Entamoeba dispar. Now these two organisms you can call it as if they are twin sister, because when you view under the microscope you will not come to know, you will not able to distinguish which one is which, right? That is why they are called as twin sisters. So protozoa name is Entamoeba histolytica and Entamoeba dispar. Tropozoites, cyst, these are the terms that you are going to listen or hear in your lifespan of this entamoeba. That is why I have shown or I have kept some pictures here. This is tropozoite, this is actual tropozoite. When you view under the microscope it will appear like this. You can compare these two. Okay, here I have given here labels. The same one you can compare with this one, right? Now this is your nucleus. The huge one is your nucleus. In the same way, now it is labeled as endosome. This endosome is also called as karyosome. You can pause the video and note down the term endosome लिखो and endosome के सामने karyosome लिखो. See, arrow is in the center of this spherical structure. Center में जो एक डॉट दिख रहा है उसको है यहाँ पे, ये डॉट जो है कंडेंस्ड स्ट्रक्चर, that is your endosome. Many a times this condensed spherical structure we get confused with as if it is a nucleolus, because inside the nucleus we know nucleolus, which is dense spherical structure, is present, but it is not that. It is endosome, which is also called as karyosome, which is nothing but the condensed genetic material. Understood? Endosome or karyosome is nothing but the condensed genetic material. So apart from nucleus, which structure you see? Feeding vacuole filled with RBC. Now RBC we know it is of red color. So you have two such food vacuole here. ये food vacuole है which are engulfed the RBC. Understood? Now here they have not shown labels for these four structure. We will be studying what these four structures in our next slide. Pseudopodia we know because it belongs to amoeba protozoa. Amoeboid protozoa, if you recall, protozoa में क्या क्या था? Ciliated protozoa, and then what? Flagellated. In the same way, amoeboid means movement or locomotion occurs with the help of pseudopodia. So these are your pseudopodia. This internal structure will be called as endoplasm. See, cytoplasm can be divided into endoplasm and ectoplasm. As you could see, this one, this entire part, this is your ectoplasm, and slightly dense, which is located internally to the cell, is your endoplasm. Now pseudopodia formation generally occurs in the ectoplasm part. You can correlate with actual picture. This is your ectoplasm. See, this is your, यहाँ पे है outer line, यहाँ से here पूरी ऐसी रहेगी. Okay, so this is your pseudopodia formation. We will be studying cyst in our next slide. So this is your Entamoeba histolytica. which is a protozoa. What is protozoa? It belongs to Protista kingdom. And what is the feature of Protista kingdom organism? That is eukaryotic unicellular. This is the lifespan of Entamoeba histolytica. We will start from here. Okay, we swallow mature cyst. Now transmission occurs through contaminated food and water. Right, so this is food and waterborne disease रहेगा. Food and waterborne और एक हमने देखा था typhoid. In the same way, this one is also transmitted via contaminated food and water. So mature cyst swallowing, swallowed GI tract में जाएगा. It will go to intestine, especially ileocecal area जो है. Ileocecal area and what you can say like a cecum area and ascending colon. Okay, that is the part that gets affected here. Now here that cyst will give rise to tropozoite. ट्रोपोजाइट का पिक्चर हमने देखा था पूरा डिटेल में. आरबीसी एनगल्फ किया है. दिस इज सूडोपोडिया. विद द हेल्प ऑफ सूडोपोडिया इट विल क्रॉल, इट विल गो इन द म्यूकोसल लेयर. If you recall the 4 layers of alimentary canal, outermost is serosa, then you have muscularis. Inside muscularis you have submucosa and innermost layer is mucosa. So these tropozoites, they will colonize in the mucosal layer of this ileocecal area. Right? Now what happens after it colonizes? Again it will give rise to cyst formation. Now that cyst will pass through stool and that cyst will be carried with the help of houseflies. And suppose this cyst will stick to the legs or wings of these flies, and the same fly if she gets and comes through your food plate, that cyst will be carried or it will be displaced on your food material and you tend to engulf this cyst and it will enter your GI tract. This is the life cycle. Right? Now we are going to discuss these tropozoid terms very often. That is why we are going to see tropozoid a little bit in detail. So this is tropozoids of Entamoeba. Tropho means food. It has a distinct nuclear envelope. न्यूक्लियस को जो है न्यूक्लियर एनवेलप रहेगा विथ फाइन क्रोमैटिन ग्रैनुल. पेरीफेरी में क्रोमैटिन ग्रैनुल रहेंगे और सेंटर में कैरियोसोम. कैरियोसोम इज नथिंग बट योर एंडोस्पोम जो लेबल दिया था, विच इज द कंडेंस्ड क्रोमैटिन मटेरियल और कंडेंस्ड जेनेटिक मटेरियल. द एंडोसोम इज स्मॉल एंड सेंट्रली प्लेस्ड. Generally many times beginners they will get confused or they will confuse this endosome with nucleolus. So this is cytoplasm. You can literally divide it into endo and ecto. So pseudopodia formation. This is actual picture. ये आपके actual picture रहेंगे. Many RBC this particular tropozoids have engulfed. काफ़ी सारा आरबीसी उसने खा लिया है. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you recall process of endocytosis? How here suppose RBC is present here. What will happen? Pseudopodia will come here and it will engulf this part, and with the help of endocytosis phenomena food vacuole will occur, and this is your nothing but the ingested RBC. This is one ingested food RBC which is nothing but your food vacuole, and here also one more. This is the cyst of Entamoeba. Now we know cyst के बारे में या spores के बारे में एक चीज़ हमारे ध्यान में आती है. Whenever surrounding is not favorable, at that time that organism converts itself into cyst. Right? So एक protective covering रहेगा so that it will get protection in the hostile surrounding. Now cyst can be of two type, immature and mature. So what is the main difference between these two cysts? आपको लगेगा अरे इतना डिटेल इन्फॉर्मेशन इज नॉट गिवन इन बोथ द टेक्स्ट बुक. वाई वी आर डिस्कसिंग जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड द प्रोसेस, अंडरस्टैंड द लाइफ साइकिल. यू डो नॉट हैव टू लर्न इट बाय हार्ट, बट when you know it, when you like what is actually happening in the life cycle of this Entamoeba histolytica, it will become easy. Means you don't have to learn other symptoms by heart if you know the life cycle. That is why we are discussing so much of or so much in detail. Immature cyst में एक major difference आप ध्यान में रखो, that it will have one nucleus while mature will have 4 nuclei. In the diagram you can correlate. This one is your immature and this is mature cyst. In immature you have one nucleus. This is one nucleus. Here now it will undergo division, 2 nuclei. Nucleus division is not followed by cytoplasm division. That is why single cell will have 4 nuclei and covering around it gives rise to mature cyst. Immature it will have only one nucleus. Okay, and early immature obviously early stage में रहेगा. Now this is the diagram that has been provided in our state board syllabus. So we should know the terms that are given here. So we will start with the help of same way like cyst है यहाँ पे with 4 nuclei. This is 4 nucleated mature cyst. Now such type of infectious cyst you are going to engulf, and once it is inside the gut, what will happen? This small organism, it will come out and it will undergo asexual reproduction. Means binary division. Here you can easily see division जो हो रहा है, binary fission हो रहा है यहाँ पे. 1 will give rise to 2, 2 will give rise to 4, like that. Asexual reproduction होगा. Now this is your tropozoite. Now we are familiar with the structure tropozoite, right? With the help of pseudopodia, it will crawl in the mucosal layer of the intestine. Now again here binary division will occur, pre-cyst formation, and it will get converted into cyst. This cyst will be deposited or it will be present in the stool, and that stool fecal material will be in the present in the soil, and house flies will come there and they will act as vector or mechanical carrier of this cyst. What are the symptoms of amoebiasis? Now we know it is GI tract related disease. So the symptoms related to digestive tract will be present. We know the symptoms, right? Like constipation. Digestion is getting affected. Constipation रहेगा. Abdominal pain, cramps, severe abdominal pain, stool with excess mucus and blood clots. Okay. Hepatomegaly, because liver gets affected here. What happens? These tropozoites, they will penetrate the layer. Many times in severe condition, perforation will occur, and through general circulation it will go, or it may simply affect the organs like liver. So hepatomegaly में main होता है increase in size of liver. In severe cases, liver abscess is also seen. Right? Diarrhea. Diarrhea symptom occurs because of what happens? These tropozoites, they are present in your ascending colon. And what is the main function of colon or this large intestine? It is to absorb water. Maximum water absorption occurs in our large intestine. We have studied this in our digestive system in class 11th, right? So because of presence of this tropozoite, because of presence of this Entamoeba histolytica, the function of large intestine gets affected. which is to absorb the water. So more amount of water will be present in stool, which will lead to diarrhea. Why do we find blood in stool? Because we know these trophozoites, they are destructing RBC, they are engulfing RBC, and RBC contain hemoglobin which is of red color. So these are the symptoms. Main यहाँ पे important symptom, because there are many diseases which are related with digestive tract. So how you will differentiate this particular amoebiasis from other digestive tract diseases? Peculiar feature is presence of mucus in the stool. This is the differentiating feature. And obviously you are going to confirm of presence of amoebiasis with the help of tests. You will study or you will perform tests on fecal matter. You will find the presence of cyst there. We know the mode of transmission. It is food and waterborne. So contaminated food and water रहेगा ही रहेगा. So how it spreads? It spreads through fecal-oral route. Eating with dirty hands. If we are not washing hands, or if one is not washing hands, so chances of presence of cyst on the hands will be there, and immediately if one eats or if one takes the food, पूरा GI tract का हो जाएगा कल्याण. Now contaminated food and water is the direct, and houseflies also act as mechanical carrier. Diagnosis, we know we can perform test. Stool matter जो है fecal matter can be tested for presence of this cyst. So through stool sample जो है वो हो जाएगा easily. Treatment में these are the name of the medicines given. Metronidazole and tinidazole, these are given. Okay. Now this again treatment part is mentioned only in our state board book and not in NCERT, but we should know because we are going to appear for the boards also 12th में. Prevention, we know the cause, so we can easily prevent. How? By maintaining hygienic practices. Now we will move to helminthic diseases. Helminthic में Aschelminthes phylum, if you recall, which is also called as Nematoda, organism belonging to this phylum commonly called as roundworms. Why? Because when you take the tears, it will appear circular. So in helminthic diseases, there are two main diseases. First is Ascariasis. Causative organism is Ascaris lumbricoides. This diagram is given in our 11th standard textbook in Nematoda phylum. Male and female roundworm ऐसे label दिया है उनको. Male are having their anus curved part and female are longer. This is the external differentiating feature. You can make out which one is male worm and which one is female worm. If we study internal part or if you dissect it, you will very easily come to know because of presence of testis and ovaries. But how to differentiate externally? That is because of this end part, anal part is curved and females are longer. No need to go in detail of these labels because we know pharynx is present. Digestive tract is tube in tube type, means presence of two openings, mouth and anus. This is adult worm. There are now female worm will lay two types of eggs, fertilized and unfertilized. As you could see, in fertilized egg, more protective coverings are present as compared to this one. Here only one or two you can see. Here 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 protective coverings. Okay. Extra protection is provided for this fertilized egg. Because these fertilized eggs are released through stool, it will remain in the soil. So for protecting till the time it gets favorable surrounding, favorable atmosphere. Favorable means enough of moisture and air like that, and appropriate temperature. These are the favorable conditions. So till the time this fertilized egg gets favorable condition, it should be very well protected, and that protection is performed, or that protection is provided with the help of these 1 2 3 4 protective layerings. This is the life cycle of Ascaris. We'll start from here, even though number is 4th, or you can start from number 1 or first step. These are the adult worms, male and female. See, female is longer. Okay. So these worms are present in small intestine. Remember, एंटामीबा कहाँ था? लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन में था. एस्केरिस रहेगा स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन में. सो नेक्स्ट होगा दे में. Okay, very interesting thing is there. Generally what we say, the symptoms are related with the which system is getting affected. So symptoms which are related with digestive tract are expected. So suppose one is having cough, you will not even think of having ascariasis in that particular person, but it may occur. Why? Because lungs are affected. These worms, they will perforate the wall, they will enter the general circulation, and they will, through portal circulation also they can enter, and they will enter the lungs, and in lungs they will go to alveoli. Okay, alveoli में रह के some part of growth will occur in alveoli. From alveoli they will go to reverse track मारेंगे यहाँ से वो, they will go to bronchi and trachea, and in the form of phlegm it will come to buccal cavity. And many times, suppose if you are sitting in classroom, or if you are listening to some lecture, now this idea is quite gross, but I don't have any other analogy to explain the phenomena. So some sputum is present in your mouth, you are not going to spit it because teacher is teaching something. So what you tend to do, you will swallow it. I know it's very gross, but bear with me please. So after swallowing, what happens? These mature worms, it will go to your again GI tract, right? Like that, inside the body it will keep on circulating. Now here, cyst or fertilized egg will pass through the stool material. Soil दिखाई है यहाँ पे, soil में ये fertilized. We are not worried about unfertilized because they are not going to give rise to larva. So unfertilized का कुछ भी चिंता नहीं है. This fertilized egg is quite worrisome because fertilized eggs can lay in soil for longer period of time because of presence of these protective coverings. Right? Now inside that, this it will keep on, embryo हो जाएगा form, embryo will convert into larva. So this larval fertilized egg sorry, this larval stage which is present inside this embryonated egg is the label given there. This larval stage is infectious to the human being. Okay, again आपका mechanical carrier house flies रहेंगे, or like through a dirty hand, unwashed hand also we tend to swallow it. Now the entire life cycle I have put in next slide in the form of notes. Okay, you can take screenshot of this, or you can pause the video and you can note down one by one, because if you recall this, if you study this particular slide, आपका पूरा हो जाएगा एस्केरियासिस. मतलब आपको बाकी का कुछ भी पढ़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Right? So first point is adult female in small intestine, it will lay these many eggs which are passed with the fecal matter. Now these eggs, they might, some of them might be unfertilized, some of them might be fertilized. So larva develop into fertile egg. Fertilized egg में, वो previous slide में हमने देखा था picture में, fertilized egg में larva जो है, it is infectious in nature. Development depends upon the favorable nature in the surrounding. Now when we swallow these infective eggs, this larva hatches, okay, in the intestine, and it invades the intestinal mucosa. They are carried via portal system. You recall portal system? And it will enter in the systemic circulation. Systemic circulation means general circulation, and from there it will go to lungs. That is why even though it is digestive tract disease, you will find presence of symptoms like coughing. खांसी रहेगी यहाँ पे. The larva matures further in the lungs, and it will, जैसे मैंने बताया था वही पॉइंट वाइज लिखा है यहाँ पे. एल्वियोलर वॉल से इट विल असेंड टू ब्रोंकियल ट्री टू द थ्रोट, एंड वी विल swallow it, and it will again come to small intestine. स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन में लार्वा आने के बाद it will mature into adult worm. We will move to our next slide. Now this particular flow chart is provided in our state board textbook. It is same, but nothing is different and no extra added terms are given. I have put this picture just so that it will become familiar. अगर हम इसको बार बार देखेंगे तो it becomes easy for us to understand. Because in the exam, in subjective exam, board exam, if they ask you to write down the life cycle of Ascaris, so you have to draw this flow chart. What are the signs and symptoms? We know it must be related with the digestive system, and one extra symptom will be your coughing, because lungs are also affected there. See, gastrointestinal discomfort accompanied with vomiting and fever, presence of live worms in fecal matter. Along with the fertilized eggs, that worms also may pass in fecal matter. Pulmonary disorder, जैसे हमने अभी डिस्कस किया था, lungs are affected. So you sometimes in severe cases you may also find the inflammation of alveolar wall, which is nothing but pneumonitis or simply pneumonia. Loss of appetite, weight loss. Weight loss क्यों होगा? जितना भी हम खा रहे हैं सारा खाना तो आपके वर्म्स के पेट में जा रहा है, right? That is why you will find weight loss. Eosinophilia, which is nothing but the increase in number of eosinophil. Eosinophil is your type of WBC, and we know WBC is our army. कुछ भी foreign organism आ गया है तो we have to increase the number of soldiers. That is why you will find increase in number of eosinophils. Mode of transmission, again contaminated food and drinks होगा. Prevention, of course avoid defecation. Open space में defecation avoid करना है, because of now that स्वच्छ भारत जो अभियान चल रहा है, this open defecation rate जो है या frequency जो है, it has come down to huge extent, courtesy our present Prime Minister. We have to maintain personal hygienic habits also, like washing hands with water and soap after using toilet. And one more thing, washing vegetables thoroughly, because what happens, what are the chances or what are the reasons or causes of presence of these eggs in the soil. आजकल जो ऑर्गेनिक फूड का जो भूत होता है, do not use chemical fertilizers, use only organic fertilizers. Organic fertilizers में क्या आता है? Generally cow dung आता है. Many a times along with cow dung, human fecal matter जो है unknowingly or knowingly use किया जाता है. So in fecal matter, chances of presence of eggs will be there, and if we do not wash the vegetables thoroughly, what will happen? जैसे रॉ सैलड में हम यूज़ करते हैं रॉ वेजिटेबल्स, जैसे लेट्यूस लीव्स वगैरह, दिखने में तो बहुत अट्रैक्टिव दिखता है, लेकिन उसको अगर अच्छे से नहीं धोगे तो यू कैन इमेजिन व्हाट विल हैपन. मेनी अ टाइम, जैसे मैंने एक एग्जांपल दिया, आई कैन नॉट स्टॉप माई सेल्फ फ्रॉम शेयरिंग दिस एग्जांपल विथ यू. वॉशिंग वेजिटेबल्स में हम ऑर्गेनिक वेजिटेबल्स जो बोलते हैं, वेयर यू आर यूजिंग दिस ऑर्गेनिक फर्टिलाइज़र. तो अगर किसी ने माशा मूवी देखा होगा तो उसमें जो आपका मैट डेमन का कैरेक्टर है, मैट वैटनी जो उनका नाम रहता है, वो अकेले ही लेफ्ट आउट ऑन द प्लैनेट मार्स. So he tries to grow potato there. Now on Mars you do not have any fertilizers. So what he he uses that fecal matter जो vacuumed dried होता है, fecal matter of his colleagues, right? And suppose imagine if some of the astronaut or कोई उनका colleague is suffering from this particular disease, so chances of carrying of that disease in the form of potato, because your potato जो है modified stem underground रहेगा, तो प्रेजेंस ऑफ सिस्ट विद द पोटैटो चांसेस बहुत ज़्यादा रहेंगे. बट रेयर ओकेजन रहेगा वो, क्योंकि जब भी कोई हम स्पेस में भेजते हैं तो थॉरो इंस्पेक्शन होता है. वी मेक इट श्योर दैट एस्ट्रोनॉट इज़ नॉट सफरिंग फ्रॉम एनी डिसीज, एनी इन्फेक्शन. सो बहुत रिलायबली जो है मैट डेमन ने ह्यूमन फिकस जो है अपने कलीग्स का यूज़ किया था फॉर ग्रोइंग पोटैटो ऑन प्लैनेट मार्स. तो ये उसका एकदम परफेक्ट एनालॉजी है. डायग्नोसिस सिंपली विद द स्टूल एग्जामिनेशन. ट्रीटमेंट रहेगा, मेनी एंटी एलिमेंटिक ड्रग्स आर प्रेजेंट, सो सम ऑफ देम आर गिवन हियर. If you must have noticed that this studying diseases it quite easy. Why? Because it is fact. ये सिम्टम है, ये पॉजिटिव ऑर्गेनिज्म है, दिस इज द लाइन ऑफ ट्रीटमेंट. आपको कुछ इसमें दिमाग लगाने की भी ज़रूरत नहीं लग रही होगी, राइट? बिकॉज कंसेप्ट जो है हमारा ऑलरेडी हो गया है, एंड इन दिस पर्टिकुलर पार्ट नो कंसेप्ट इज इन्वॉल्व, राइट? सो काफ़ी ईजी पार्ट है ये डिसीजेस का. सम मोर डिसीजेस आर देयर, वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी इन आवर नेक्स्ट वीडियोज. थैंक यू.